come from? Through the fire?
From the hip. No! I can't believe I'm saying this, but Resident Evil 9 is here, and I've already platinumed it. Old school and new school horror of Resident Evil combine here to make what I'm going to call one of the best Resident Evil games I've played. And this review is here to tell you why. This is Resident Evil 9. Don't go away. I'm going to straight up skip any intro talk. There's just too much to discuss here, but I will say no spoilers here. Anything that was shown in the trailers, I will talk about, just characters like Sherry and all the mini boss and stuff, but anything that I think is any spoiler related, which is quite a lot in this game, I won't say anything. I've played and reviewed many Resident Evil titles on my channel. I remember on Resident Evil 8, leading up to the release, I played through all of the Resident Evils leading up to that one. And now we got Resident Evil 9. And let me tell you, from the second I saw it live during the show, the Resident Evil 9 trailer drop, I was hyped. I mean, that seriously is probably one of the greatest trailer moments of my entire life. And something to mention right off spawn here is that Resident Evil 9 has two perspectives. I'm not talking about the first and third POV. Grace and Leon Kennedy share spots as the MC here. Grace is the classic survival horror, Leon is the modern. And for those of you who don't know, the director of this game, Resident Evil 9, also directed another Resident Evil game, Resident Evil Revelations, one of my all-time favorite games of all time. In my Revelations review, I talked about how the game combined classic and modern Resident Evil into a mix that was fantastic. And now for the 30th anniversary of this franchise, I believe RE9 has perfected it yet again. Grace's gameplay truly is classic survival horror. Limited inventory, limited ammo. Every shot here really does count. You have a Magnum and you have one bullet for it for like a long time. And as much as I absolutely love Leon Kennedy, I think Grace's gameplay here is just as fun. Sneaking around the Rhodes Hill Chronic Care Center reminds me of another game, and I swear I'm the only person to ever think about this. Grace in the Chronic Care Center reminds me of Luigi's Mansion. In Luigi's Mansion, every room has some sort of main character to it. You know, you're not going to floor 2, room 3, you're going to a specific character's room. And in Resident Evil 9, it feels the exact same, and it's so great. The kitchen isn't the kitchen. The kitchen is where the chef is. The upstairs ballroom isn't the upstairs ballroom. It's where the singing zombie is. There's the cleaning lady. There's the guy who likes the lights off. There's a blind guy who hates all sorts of noise. There's also a huge fat guy. I feel like I want to break this too.
Just do it. You make him lose his shit.
Having zombies tied to their specific rooms, I think truly elevates the general normal NPC zombie into an actual genuine character. I can make it.
Is there a Molotov cocktail?
Nah, I don't have one actually.
She didn't see you, right? Okay.
I don't, unless she's got crazy ball vision. And Leon's side, listen, I think people are going to have to apologize to Resident Evil 6. If you didn't like Resident Evil 6's combat, I'm sorry, but you're just not going to like the combat here in 9 because it is the exact same. Now, I've always liked 6. I've played 6 a bunch of times. Let me say, the more I played this game, the more I found little things that were just exactly off of Resident Evil 6. He's got a pole! This is like RE6! Look at the pole! Oh, I can actually get the pole! That is literally RE6! And to me, it works. Leon is a killing machine in this game, and he's supposed to be. You know, walking across a basic-ass zombie, this is like, what, the 5,000th zombie he's seen? Like, it doesn't matter to him. This is just like a normal walk in the park. I swear, half the move that Leon does in this game, he is doing it just to look cool because it is totally not necessary, but he kicks ass. The kind of combat that you could slam a Cyberpunk 2077 soundtrack in, and it would just fit right in.
Fuck, what a way to die.
What's this? Get the fuck out of my way.
You can throw fucking axes at this guy.
Stop. Who's the suicide guy? Oh! And these two polar opposite gameplays was kind of a concern of mine coming in, because the number one thing you don't want the fans to feel is when you're playing as Grace, oh man, I wish I was playing as Leon, it's so much more fun. Or the opposite, I wish I was playing as Grace, I like the stealth aspect more. But I think Capcom did truly a really, really good job of balancing out both gameplay styles. Woman! Woman? Okay. Whoa! Wait a minute! Wait!
Just funny, it's funny.
Story-wise, it's hard not to spoil, honestly. Genuinely, a lot of the story here is just what I would consider spoilers. But I will say this. It's almost as if, in the writing room of Capcom, there was a giant banner overhead of every writer that said, what would the fans want? What would the fans think in this moment? There are so many story beats and moments and ups and downs here that would have casual fans who don't really know the lore of Resident Evil that would make them go, huh, okay. But for fans of Resident Evil, it has you jumping out of your seat. And I can't show any of it, obviously, for spoiler reasons, but trust me, I think the story in RE9 is really good. I think if you sit down and really dissect it and plot it out, I think, honestly, some of it is a little plot holey, I think, potentially, and a little unnecessary in moments, but I can't say much on the story. And it's for that reason that I think that this is probably the worst Resident Evil to ever start with if you're a Resident Evil trying to get into it. Like, should I start with 9? Literally no. This game was made because it's the 30th anniversary, and this is Leon Kennedy's like 4th game, and it's quite literally a sort of celebration of what Resident Evil has become. The only thing I actually don't like here for gameplay is how shallow the upgrade system is. Coming into the release, Capcom did confirm that there is no merchant.
That makes me very sad.
Okay, fine. I honestly would rather have merchant here. But for Grace, you have the Resident Evil 7 style antique coins. Coins that you can collect throughout the care center and use them on the coin slot machines. Now you can have upgraded health, upgraded firepower, extra inventory spots, an upgrade for your blood collector. But the thing that I wasn't a huge fan of is this is the only spot you can use these coins in. Now I had more coins than I could even use. I had like extra. And me and my friend thought, hey, well, I might as well save them because the Chronic Care Center is only like the first 20% of the game. So later on, I'll be able to use coins in a different machine. No. That's the only mechanic. Weird. I have, unless they do more. It seems weird to me that they would give you more antique coins than what you can actually purchase.
There must be another one eventually. That's fine.
And Leon's is the same. Leon gets a whole new like CP point system introduced in the last third of the game, which I felt was really late to introduce a whole new system. But they were able to do that because there's not much to the system. I remember finishing my very first playthrough and having everything upgraded with leftover points. You see, you get points for every zombie you kill or every anything you kill in this game, once you reach a certain point of the game at least. And with these points you can use at the save room to upgrade your weapons. Now honestly, every weapon has like 2 upgrades per attribute, like firepower, reload speed, and stability. It really isn't that deep of an upgrade system at all. In fact, it's extremely shallow. And I think that you also needed new guns. You only have 2 pistols for Leon. One of them actually sucks. You only have 3 shotguns, and they're kind of not that different from each other. You have 2 sniper rifles, which is okay. I just think the only downside to Resident Evil 9's whole gameplay scenario is the fact that the combat is really fun on both sides, stealth and action. But if you want to take that and upgrade it to a whole new level and try to diversify or do different builds or anything, you literally can't.
Oh wait, not fucking snipe him. Stand up! Your posture's shit.
Why is he trying to shake his fucking ass in front of me?
His fucking posture's ass.
Presentation, Resident Evil 9. If it wasn't for one thing, this would literally be a bona fide 10 out of 10. The very first thing you have to mention is animations are taken to a level that when I played game as a kid, you always assume the very small attention detail things, it's just not worth doing as a game developer. But let me tell you, I shit my pants when I realized loading the Revolver Requiem, okay? The reload animation is completely accurate to your actual ammo count. I genuinely think this is like the most untalked about thing that Resident Evil 9 did that was insane. And this works for all guns. Look at this replay. I need to load 4 bullets into my Requiem Magnum, right? Loads actually 4 bullets into the Magnum. Even animation where you go to reload but you have your flashlight out. Most games would just have the flashlight like disappear technically, and you reload it and the flashlight just teleports back in your hand. No, the character will put it in their shoulder, so the flashlight is still technically pointing where the character's camera is, and then reload. This works for all guns, by the way. All guns, all animation in this game have a ridiculous amount of attention to them. Shout out to Leon's violin-style reload on a shotgun. I don't even know what you call this, but this is like the most coolest way to ever reload a shotgun. And we don't stop here for presentation. Graphics, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I remember seeing this all the way back in RE2 remake in like, what was that, 2019? That was the best looking game ever. The RE engine is absolutely superb. There is just so much goodness to look at here. Like even like Grace's hair per strand, hair follicle is nuts. Voice acting is incredible. The two that really stuck out to me, Victor Gideon, fantastic.
She won't get away, you know.
And I think the main star here for voice acting is Grace Ashcroft. Angela St. Lablano, I hope I didn't destroy that name, but absolutely, at the end of the year for the Game Awards, if I don't see her nominated and even win, which I know we're early in the year, but phenomenal performance by her.
It's a deal.
Lighting in this game, listen, I played on an OLED screen, so I could be biased here, but again, ridiculous. Huge shout out to this little quality of life thing too. There are different skins in this game. There's a good number of them. I will say my favorite skin in the game is just Grace's jacket look. Absolutely love that look. But they show up in cutscene. Every detail truly is not overlooked here. Unless you're talking about music. If you've seen any videos on my channel for reviews, you'll know that I talk about music quite a bit. I think it's probably the most underrated thing a game can have. And in Resident Evil 9, I think the music here is passable, but it's just not at that level that everything else is at. First up, the safe theme, after a while, yeah, okay, I get used to it. It's a little quiet for my taste. I think it could be literally twice as loud in my opinion. But so many games nowadays in the horror genre genuinely just go for subtle little background soundtracks. And I just think that's always a mistake. You know, I think of a game, Silent Hill F. Let's say I'm not a Resident Evil fan and Resident Evil 9 was my first game. I genuinely think I come away saying that Silent Hill F is better than Resident Evil 9. And one of the reasons being is memorability. And one of the reasons why it's so memorable is because of the music. It's been a good like half a year since I finished Silent Hill F, but listen to any soundtrack from that game and I'm immediately teleported back into that world. It's so recognizable. Here in Resident Evil 9, you have the save theme, you have the main menu theme post finishing the game, you have maybe one track I remember from Leon in later game, and that's it. I think the genuine missed spot for soundtracks here was in the Chronic Care Center. I think there should have been genuine on-screen soundtracks whenever you're around the shaft, whenever you're around specific zombies. Even the main hub room should have had its own theme. And I think that you could play no soundtracks even as an asset itself.
Let me explain.
Imagine this. Every room has some sort of soundtrack to it that you can genuinely hear. But then you enter the sinking zombies room and the soundtrack cuts out. Multiple. All of a sudden that music that you've been hearing this whole time in this game is gone, and now it's just you and the faint singing of a zombie in the next room. Like, you see how no soundtracks can be used in an aspect in game if it had soundtracks? Overall impact. My overall opinion on Resident Evil 9 is this. Let's just imagine for a minute I take away all my biases of being a Resident Evil fan. Without all the hype moments of the story and the returning character, I think that, yeah, you know, you do have a shallow upgrade system here in Resident Evil 9, which, by the way, honestly, I just remembered I didn't even mention the charms. The charms is such a weird thing in this game. You can attach a little charm to your gun that can upgrade firepower, or upgrade firepower if it's the last round in the magazine, upgrade penetration, small things like that. But they're so limited. I think off the top of my head, there's like 6. Like, you basically have enough for 1 per gun. Like, imagine if there was just for, say, 25 charms that could genuinely change up gameplay, genuinely change your gun the way it works. I think that would work for New Game Plus, which, by the way, there's not a traditional New Game Plus here. I still say that Resident Evil 9 has good replayability, except for like 1 level. But I still think that an actual New Game Plus would have actually helped. I feel like there could have been like 1 or 2 more weapons. I feel like there could have been different grenades for Leon. Like he has the hand grenade and then he can glue them together to make a stacked hand grenade. But what about fire grenades or flashbangs like from Resident Evil 4? And of course the lack of music. But even though it has, I think, some flaws, and I don't think this is a genuine 10 out of 10 blow my pants off masterpiece, I think as a Resident Evil fan, I think this kind of is to me. As a Resident Evil fan, this kind of does feel like Resident Evil The Greatest Hits of the Franchise Edition 30th Anniversary Special. I feel like you have bits and pieces from like so many different Resident Evil games all like coagulated into one giant thing.
Her thumb just covered.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Upgrade goes crazy.
Okay.
He actually
Damn.
flew back.
Okay, we'll take that. Oh.
And if you want to know my true closing case summed up thoughts about it in like one small thing, it's this. Me and my friend both played this off release day together under one save file. Literally one of the most fun things I've ever done in my entire life. Wait. I then played it again, and then I played it again, and then I even played it on Insanity mode under Japanese voice acting, and I threw in classic soundtrack and sound effects just for the fun of it. That all culminated in me platinuming the game in like under 9 days.
読書は好き？好き。ちょっと読んでほしいものがあるの。
And to me, out of all the Resident Evils I've played, I think this is genuinely up there as one of the best ones. There probably isn't ever going to be a time in my life where I think about Resident Evil 9 or hear the main menu theme or save theme and I don't immediately just smile. To me, RA9 is well deserving of a 9.2 out of 10. So that's it. Resident Evil 9 is down. How long until I'm just on here in my own channel saying, welcome to Resident Evil 10? Like, that is going to be crazy. For now, though, it has been announced since I was recording this, like yesterday this was announced. Capcom did say Mercenaries, well, not Mercenaries, but a mini-game mode and also story DLC expansion is coming. For now, I will put RA9 sadly behind me after almost 40 hours of gameplay and just really enjoy what RA9 was. A very fun moment in my life. For now, I'm your host, Beneath the Mask. I hope you just review. Peace out. Nah, I can't use that.
Fucking go right the fuck this way. We had the same fucking thought.
Fucking go right the fuck this way.
Animation.
I know you're here to find out the Easter egg soundtrack that I put in at the end of every video, but did you know that I have a Buy Me a Coffee page? A page where you can donate to your favorite YouTube creator. Half of the money that's donated to that page is personally donated back to Child's Play Charity, a charity that's dedicated to supplying games and technology to children in hospitals around the world. So that's that. Did you guess the soundtrack?